Welcome to the 411 podcast. I am here with your president-elect and my co-host, Sam Olson.
And I am here with your president and my co-host, Garrett Lepire. And joining us today is Garrett Gordon, Government Affairs Director for Sierra Nevada Realtors. Garrett, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is fantastic.
You betcha. Garrett has a very important job here at the association, and you have a big job. Tell us a little bit about what a government affairs director does.
Sure. Well, a little background on me first. So, born and raised here in Reno. My daughter's Reno High School, fourth generation Reno High. So,
Love it.
know this community well. My family has, and I love it. I left for undergrad, went to University of Utah, urban planning degree, which certainly plays into what I do now on land use and real estate and government affairs.
For sure.
Law school back in DC, got the political bug, and so came back and been doing for 20 years, just land use, government affairs, real estate, and I wake up every single day and love what I do. A lot of people can't say that, but I certainly can.
That's awesome. So in that role and in that job as government affairs director, what's that entail? What does a government affairs director do?
Just sitting around drinking coffee. No.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Hobnobbing with politicians.
Exactly. Yeah. Playing a lot of golf and, not doing much. No, it's intense, I would say, especially with your guys' jurisdiction. So I remember at first it was, come represent us for 6 counties. So I have 6 counties that I cover for all you. But then you can't forget there's 4 cities within those counties. So technically it's 10 jurisdictions, because if you look at Reno and Sparks, Fernley and Fallon, those are busy, robust, thriving communities, obviously, as well, that have very long agendas and been dealing with ADUs for those jurisdictions, short-term rentals for those jurisdictions. Even Fernley had a code amendment the other day that talked about setbacks. And it's important to you guys and your clients, new home setbacks. So you have 0 setback and you're looking at your neighbor when they're taking a shower through the window, or you want 10 foot where you have some landscaping and space. So even little nuances like that in code, we monitor. So I read every agenda that pops up at all 10 jurisdictions. We have a weekly call every Friday where we go through with the government affairs team and kind of understand what's coming the next week. Is it a setback issue? Is it an ADU issue? Is it a new development that maybe we're not getting involved in, but it'd be nice for you guys to tell your clients, wow, there's 1,000 new homes coming in East Sparks, and here's the builders and here's the infrastructure to get there. So it's a very wide range, but it's just a lot of time and effort to make sure I don't miss anything for you, SNR, and your clients, so you're well educated.
So you gather this information, you go to these meetings. Yeah, there's times that you have stuff that you need to say on our behalf. Who gives you those directions on what to do?
April? No.
Technically speaking, yes.
Technically speaking. No, it's been great here because you guys are so organized. I mean, it is very organized, committee-based, where we show up once a month to your government affairs committee and your PAC committee, and leading up to those meetings, there's a lot of work and vetting of, there might be 50 issues that we could cover, but we have a subcommittee meeting every Friday to say, okay, that's not relevant. Okay, we're not really worried about that. And really get down to, I mean, you guys have been there, maybe 10, 20 issues that we go through. And some of those are reporting of what happened last month, what's kind of happening now, and then what we think is going on in the future. And then we kind of collectively, as you guys know, put it in a couple different buckets, right? Here's a bucket of just monitor, show up either in person or just watch it on Zoom and get back to us of what happened. But then we have a bucket of kind of more proactive lobbying, I would say, of, hey, we're really concerned about this action. Short-term rentals in Carson City was a big deal. The first draft that came out, we had some concerns. So we went to the committee, looked at the ordinance, looked at all the issues. I've been working closely with Carson City to make sure we believe they kind of get it right.
Yep.
And then we also come out, which I think is important, in support of things. It's not just wanting to be negative all the time. We don't like this. We don't like this. Then no one's going to pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, what does the realtors think? Oh, they're just going to say, we don't like it. No, we want them to call us and say, for example, in Carson City with the new city hall,
Yep.
we got a phone call and said, we would love for us to come, staff to come and present this project to SNR, to the Government Affairs Committee. If you like what we're doing, come testify in favor. And so we heard it, we listened, we voted, and said, what a great project. Redevelopment, this is fantastic. So we went on the record. So I think the more we go on the record in support and really engage, we are starting to get phone calls all the time. Story County called us. What do you think about our short-term rental? Reno called us. Hey, this ADU has been sitting on the shelf for, I don't know, close to a decade. Help us get it off the shelf and into the books. And so I've really appreciated this opportunity and just being so proactive where it's not just me always bugging politicians or staff. They're calling us now for what does the SNR think and how can we help you?
Yeah, and those inbound calls, that's a change from the way it used to operate, because realtors always used to just be, no, no, we don't support this. No, we don't support this. And now to get those calls, I think is a testament to the work that you and your team do on behalf of our members to really proactively engage and get a back and forth conversation with our 10 governments that we interface with.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've loved it. It's something different every single day on behalf of you guys. And to your point, we just have been kind of amending some of your older policies and position statements. And so I know your short-term rental statement was obviously private property rights. We want to expand and have as broad rights as possible for the homeowner and the property owner. But we put in there, as you guys know, an extra sentence that said, here's our position, but we're always willing to be at the table and discuss if tweaks are needed for a particular community. Because if you're just so rigid and say, here is what we stand for in Washoe County, in Story County, in Reno, up at the lake, like that's not going to get what you want, right? It needs to be flexible. It needs to be fluid. Every jurisdiction's different. I think we can all agree Lyon County's different than Washoe County, different than Carson City, different than Incline Village. And so always just being flexible, not too rigid to get the results we need is kind of my wheelhouse. And I love doing it every single day.
Yep. And that's been the thing I've enjoyed the most of being involved in the government affairs, being involved in leadership, is that little shift. And you brought that to us. You've helped implement that and bring it out into the forefront of, if we just say no, there's no reason to call us. We have to be flexible. Politics is about some horse trading here and there on where that's at. And STRs, sure, that property owner has every right to use their property, but what about their neighbors? They have every right to use their property in quiet enjoyment as well, too.
Absolutely. And what's so great is, I mean, elected officials love you guys, love realtors. Like when I showed up to this job, it wasn't like I had to all of a sudden rebrand you guys into something different than you are. I mean, the comments I get back from elected officials, I mean, you guys are the heart of this community. I mean, you are dealing with clients, selling homes, buying homes that are entitled by our elected officials. And so you kind of know what's the market, what's selling, what's not selling, what areas do we need to work on, what infrastructure do we need to work on, what park is completely falling apart that we could use a couple extra bucks in to put a new slide and some new equipment that would turn that community into something really special. Even that dog park we worked on with elected officials, and you did a fantastic job on that one.
Yes, you did.
City of Reno elected officials like stepped in and helped you and your vision get that over the goal line, which was fantastic. So little things here and there, I think, go a long way. But your guys' reputation is solid with all 6 jurisdictions plus 4 cities, and it's just me trying to plug the holes of when issues come up. How do we make sure we continue this momentum that you guys have had for a while?
Great. And it's a testament to real estate makes the world go round, and not just realtors, but real estate. You have title companies, you have mortgage companies, you have contractors, developers. There's so many aspects to real estate. We're a third of the gross domestic.
That's all right.
We're a third of the gross domestic product of this whole country's economy when it comes to the real estate industry nationwide. So it's an important factor in the economy.
And what's pretty cool is you guys are so close to the community, kind of boots on the ground, but so are our elected local officials, right? We're not talking about DC. We're not even talking about Carson City. We're talking about the elected officials who are the boots on the ground in our communities as well. I mean, as you know, they appoint NAB members, right? And we have been fortunate to get some realtors in those positions. And that's also, I think, like part of my job is making sure when planning commission opens up any of our jurisdictions, they're NAB members. Like, let's get some realtors in there to provide your perspective, your members' perspective, your organization's perspective, which is a loud voice. But it's a natural fit with local lobbying, local government affairs, and your organization, because you guys really have a lot in common.
Yep, agreed. It's election season, so
It is?
It is. I'm sure
Have you
you know
got
that.
any flyers at all?
So, what does that mean for you and your role? Yeah, when it becomes election season.
Very busy. Especially, you have, I keep saying 6 counties, but I'm just going to say 10 jurisdictions, because we have 10 jurisdictions. Obviously, there's elected officials in all 10 of them, from county commissioners to council members to mayors. And this year in particular, we have some mayor seats that are opening up, which hasn't been that way for a while. A lot of incumbents have continued to run and win,
Correct.
and now some of those folks have termed out. So it's very busy. We're getting phone calls left and right. Realtors, who are you supporting? Who are you endorsing? What does your PAC funds look like? We'd love for you to contribute, because running for office is not cheap. It's not. I mean, it's signs, it's flyers, you can see now TV time. A lot of these elected officials are going on TV. It's putting together a team to help walk for you, to get your message out. It's social media platforms and hiring someone who's very good at that. So they do need resources. And so for us, we've taken, as you guys know, the Government Affairs Committee, we've said, let's kind of hold off and see what happens after the primary. Because in some of these seats, I mean, there's 7, 8, 9 people running.
Correct.
And we get phone calls from all of them. And I think it's been a fair response to say, let's hold off, go do your hard work. Let's see what 2 come out of the primary, and then we'll have those interviews. And so for right now, it's been a little defense of, hey, talk to you after the primary.
Yep.
But at the same time, being there and answering questions, and some of them have turned into friends, and they kind of ask for advice of, hey, how is the campaign going? What do you guys think? What do the realtors think? What issues are important to you guys, so they can put them on their platform? I mean, ADUs was very important to the city of Reno, so I'm sure you'll see a lot of the folks running in Reno, how they voted in favor of ADUs. So when the time comes to come interview in front of you, because I don't know how you've done it historically, but we've said, absolutely, we're going to interview everyone.
Yeah.
Even if we think a particular candidate kind of aligns with our goals or our values, we're going to endorse them. No, let's invite everyone to make sure, one, we have a fair process. The lawyer in me wants due process all the time.
That's the right way
But
to do it.
but second of all, you never know. You could be surprised. Someone could walk in here and just blow our socks off, and we go, we want that guy up there.
It's true.
And so we'll interview everyone coming June 9th is the primary. Go vote. Everyone go vote, please. June 9th primary. And after that, we'll kind of assess between, June 10th and November of who, in fact, won. And we'll start having interviews. We have a couple bucks to give out. And the money is important, but the endorsement is huge, because when SNR endorses a candidate, right? I mean, you have thousands of members that will receive that endorsement, hopefully vote for our endorsed candidates, hopefully tell their families to vote for the endorsed candidates, tell their loved ones, tell their coworkers. And so that's why this organization is so important kind of politically, is we have tentacles everywhere. And if we can get behind a candidate, usually that candidate is pretty successful.
Before we jump back into the conversation, we want to take a quick moment to thank our amazing sponsors over at Ticor Title of Nevada. Their support helps make this podcast possible and allows us to keep bringing you valuable content every episode.
And these interviews, we're not, because in the municipals, they're nonpartisan.
Correct.
So I know there's a lot of feedback. Oh, it's always this side, or it's always this side. I'm proud to say that we usually endorse a mix across the entire spectrum of political parties, because we want the best voices for our members and our clients.
If you ask me, I mean, we're just going to be picking the best person.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He or she, whoever we select, I think it's not going to be a Republican or independent or a Democrat, even though Washoe County is kind of partisan. But the interesting thing is, some of those districts are so Democrat or so Republican that the primary is the big race. So whoever gets out of the primary will probably win. So we'll kind of know who's going to win, and we can, hopefully talk to him or her about, supporting some of our causes, etc.
Right.
But I agree. It's been great on this organization because we're in committees and, it's nonpartisan, but sometimes you hear one of our members stand up and have a Democrat slant or a Republican slant or independent slant and just these robust conversations of what's best for your guys' organization is what matters most, not politics.
Correct. And we're doing something cool this year that SNR's never done with the Reno mayoral race after the primary. What are we doing?
I am really excited about this. I mean, it's going to be a really big deal. So we're going to host a mayoral debate, likely between the two candidates that come out of the primary for City of Reno and the two candidates that come out of the primary for City of Sparks. We'll either combine them or kind of separate the afternoon or evening with two separate ones, still to be determined. But you're going to have the next mayors up on stage. I believe I will be moderating with the Realtor logo right in front, prevalent. We'll have press there, both TV and written press. We'll have social media everywhere. And I want to turn this into an annual event. And obviously the mayor isn't up every year, but there's other key races that I want people to say, I want to go to that Realtor event and I want to go to that Realtor debate. And I want people to say, wow, that debate really changed my mind on who I should vote for or endorse. Or, gosh, I've always wanted to ask the mayor a question. And the good part about this is we're going to open it up to our members for questions. And so, I'll make sure to have a period of time where folks who maybe don't get the opportunity to talk to the mayor, potential mayor every day, and have a question that's been bothering them for years, they will get the mic and be able to ask whatever they want. So I'm really excited about it. It'll happen later this year after the primary, and hopefully it turns into an annual event.
Love that. It's gonna be amazing. Love that. And talk about advocacy at work. I mean, we're bringing you the debate, allowing you a platform to ask questions to, and to learn more about the candidates before you go vote in the general election for them. So be on the lookout for that. We're targeting August. Is that what we're targeting?
Mid-August, correct.
Yep. So we'll have more information out for you guys there. Before we go, what are some of the things that are happening in our 10 jurisdictions that are important? Some of the highlights that are going on right now.
Sure. Before I hit that, I have to plug your accessible advocacy platform that came out of our retreat at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And it's fantastic. We've been inviting local government staff, local government officials to either come to the beginning of our government affairs meeting, come to the beginning of our membership meeting, to make sure that folks who maybe aren't part of our committees but show up to these other events, know what we're doing. I mean, for example, in June, on June 9th, right, we have the primary, we have my son's birthday, and we have your membership meeting in Carson City. We have a Carson City supervisor showing up, Mr. Horton, to talk a little bit about Carson. We have two Douglas County commissioners showing up to talk a little bit about what's going on in Douglas. And so maybe a member who typically doesn't interface with these elected officials, they can. We also have had a prior meeting with Chris Pingree, the building official for Reno, which I thought, okay, we're going to talk about building codes. It's going to be pretty bland, but I mean, it was hot.
That was a great one.
And
Chris was awesome
on ADUs, right? Because Chris knows ADUs, and there was so many questions, which was fantastic, by our membership about ADUs: where, how, when, setbacks, number, parking, design standards. It was great, and he's ready to come back. So I think that was a good value. And then we'll have someone from the airport authority later this year. We'll have we had a private property owner or a private business in Carson City, Douglas County, who was operating some mines. And there were some questions by some of our members of, hey, I've kind of heard, does he have his permits? Does he not? What's the plan? So he came in and answered questions. And when we walked out, they were all high-fiving, going, I'm going to bring my wheelbarrow there and get some landscaping sand for my pavers. It was fantastic. So just wanted to plug that. Keep a lookout, everyone, for accessible advocacy, because we're trying to not only let us know in the rooms what we do, but all of our members.
Correct.
What's going on? So answer your question. So 10 jurisdictions, Douglas County Master Plan Amendment update. So as we know, they've had a cap on building permits for a long time. Not sure they're going to rip off that cap, but again, look at maybe some other things of allowing density or housing product in some places where they maybe weren't before. Short-term rentals, Carson boy here dealing with the short-term rentals in in Carson City. And let's not forget, this is the plug to Hope Sullivan, Carson City. She's been fantastic. This will go to the board later this month, and we've been at the table every single step of the way.
Love it.
Back out to the rurals. Again, code amendments have been popping in and out. We've dealt with a little bit of setbacks, where manufactured housing should go or not go. There's been some thoughts of where to realign some of these federal roads. So keep taking a look at that to make sure it not only we like the idea, but to educate members of where future roads may be coming. TRPA, we have Washoe County and Douglas County, which of course is part of TRPA. So they're going through some housing policies, housing initiatives that we're following. Reno, short-term rentals will be here very soon. City of Sparks has been really robust in some residential development lately. So we've just been monitoring that and providing it to the Government Affairs Committee and our members of what's happening out there. I could keep going and going. I know we're on a little bit of a time crunch, but yeah, a lot going on all the times. And I think the beginning of our government affairs meetings are open to the membership for accessible advocacy. So if anyone ever wants to come in and hear what we do and how we do it, then I'm happy to explain at the committee meeting, or call me, email me, and I'll give you a download of all the things we're doing in our 10 jurisdictions.
For sure. And if you're out there in the field and something pops up, you're dealing with, a setback issue on a property you're trying to sell, whatever that may be, bring it to our attention. That's how we find out about these things. I've been in several government affairs meetings where a member brings something and says, hey, this is going on. I heard about this in my community. And we're like, oh, all right, we need to get on that. We need to get going. So you're our investigators. If you see stuff out there, please bring it to us and let us know.
Yeah, and definitely take the time, invest the time to come to these accessible advocacy events, because when you're out there talking to clients and who are interviewing more than one realtor at this point, when you know and they don't, you win.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Why do people hire realtors? For what you have in your head, the knowledge that you have. So the more knowledge you can have, that's what's going to benefit you. Garrett, I can't say enough good things, and not just because you have an awesome name and you support, right? Yeah, I can't say enough good things about what you've done and how you've helped us in the government affairs capacity at the association since you've been with us. So I really appreciate you.
I appreciate that. I mean, I've had a goal of being involved in this organization for a long time. Opportunity popped up, and really thankful and grateful that I am involved, and look forward to a bright future.
Love it. Thanks, guys, for watching.